Hey, what's up guys, it's Cozy back with another Genshin Impact video. Today is a Spiral Abyss reset and I thought it would be a good idea to make a video about it because we got new enemies in it. Specifically the new world bosses as well as two of the Fatui agents. The Seahorse will probably be a challenge for a lot of people and the Construct might be a challenge as well, though it is easier than the Seahorse. Starting off, as you were able to see earlier, we have a very simple blessing this time. You do more charged and normal attack damage whenever you get healed or whenever you lose HP. As such, it basically works passively. When it comes to floor 9, there is not a whole lot to be said here. As always, having an animal character or two will be helpful in order to group up opponents. That will speed up your run a lot and it will help you getting those 3 stars in each of those chambers. There's also one of the pylons that buffs your opponents for both halves of Chamber 3, so if you are having problems there, use characters that can dispel those buffs, or in other words, trigger elemental reactions in order to get rid of the buffs. Regarding floor 10, the only enemies that are somewhat noteworthy are the bishops. Pay attention to their attacks because they reduce your energy. Other than that, use a Hydro character if you have one, Nouvellette for example, because you get bonus damage due to the leyline disorder. Other than that, this floor shouldn't be too much of a challenge. As always, use animal characters to group up opponents. If you haven't built one yet, then go ahead and do so. They are quite literally game changing. Sucrose, Lynette and Venti as well as Kazuha are the best characters that come to mind. After that, we have floor 11. This floor has a decent leyline disorder, 60% more cryo and hydro damage is insane, so try to make use of that. When it comes to the opponent, there's nothing too dangerous. There's a lava hull in here, as such pay attention to dodging his attacks. If you're having problems here, then use a Pyro character to get rid of his shield. Chamber 3 does also have a Pyro Abyss Mage in the first half, so use a Hydro or Electro character for those. And Chamber 2 has a meme in it that people were talking about since the launch of Fontaine, 2 of the big boy Hydro Eidolons. If you are having problems with these bad boys, then go to Twitter and complain about the people that were constantly memeing about them. No, but in all seriousness, if you're having problems here, go to the open world, find their respective counterparts and learn the dodge patterns. Once you learn those, they are fairly simple to deal with. And that brings us to floor 12. Floor 12 is difficult this time around. I know there are a lot of people saying, floor 12, it's always easy, blah blah. But this time it's actually difficult because it requires specific elements to complete it. Not necessarily characters, but elements. As such, if you're free to play and you don't manage to get to 9 stars in it, that is completely fine, nothing to be ashamed about. This one requires either a correct free-to-play account or you're pay to win, and if you're the second option, let's be honest here, most stuff dies within 10 seconds anyway, so nothing really is a challenge in the game. So what do we need? First up we have the Seapony. This one has an electro shield and you need to take care of that shield first. The best elements when it comes to that are Dendro, Cryo and Pyro. You can use the others too, except for Electro itself, but those 3 work the best. So try to build a team with that in mind. While the shield is active, the pony takes less damage, as such make sure to break it as fast as you can and try to have your elemental burst ready for when you break the shield. After breaking it, the pony even gets stunned for a few seconds, so try to use that to your advantage. The second half of Chamber 1 has a bunch of Abyss Wolves. As always, when it comes to these enemies, they appear in large groups, so having an animal character for them is basically essential. Also, due to the way they deal damage, it would be good to have an actual healer instead of a shielder. After the wolves there are 3 pyro mages, so try to have a hydro character ready for that. The mages are spread apart in the beginning, but you can bait them so that they teleport on top of each other, which makes them a lot easier to deal with. Next up we have Chamber 2. This one is in a way easier than the first chamber because you no longer need specific characters or elements in order to complete it. So if you have to restart the run in order to use your actual teams because you were using weird teams in the first chamber, then go ahead and do so, there's no shame in that, even I did it. When it comes to the enemies, the first part is fairly easy. Bishops, a few robots, nothing too fancy. The second half has the world boss in it. This time it is the other version of it. Before we had the cryo version, now we no longer have to deal with it. So pay attention to dodging the normal attacks and you're good to go here. Keep in mind that you can use your Elemental Burst for its invulnerability window in order to dodge some of the attacks. And finally, we have Chamber 3. The first half has a Crystal Maiden in it, and after that we have 2 of the new Fatui agents. The Crystal Maiden is not really that difficult, you all know how to deal with her, but the Fatui agents might be challenging. They do a lot of damage with their attacks, but they can be crowd controlled, so pay attention to that and you're good to go. After that we have the other world boss, the big gravity machine. This one is in itself fairly simple. The small circle attack can be easily dodged, the big wave attack can be jumped over, and the big boy circle one-shot attack, it can be ignored by using your Elemental Burst. If you're having problems here, you can find the same version either by doing the world boss in the open world, or you can challenge one of the new rare elite enemies you find in the new zones over and over again, right? You find this guy at the very north of the new zone. He has the same attack pattern, so you can practice there. Other than that, this one shouldn't be too much of a challenge. It has a lot of HP, so this fight will be more of a, how do we say it, consistency check, I guess, right? Just keep dodging the attacks and eventually it goes down. As you can see, for this version it is only Chamber 1 that is kinda limiting due to the electro shields of the pony. So if you're having problems with the later chambers, there's no shame in adjusting your teams. Like I said, right, I did it too. Getting 9 stars is still fairly difficult, but getting to 6 stars should be possible for everyone, as long as your characters are geared enough. And with that, we are at the end of the guide. If it was helpful, then leave a like, a comment, all of that stuff. Let me know what you think about this version of the Abyss, what characters did you use. Other than that, as always, have a great day or night wherever you live, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.